Police have actually pulled their finger out and they've gone and arrested the pervy prince. Roll VT. You're not going to believe this, but I recorded a whole 25-minute segment. I want this to be about 25 minutes, the news, and I didn't record the audio. I only recorded me sitting here just talking to myself. Schoolboy error, once again. I normally, speaking to the mic, go back, check it, but I forgot. There we go, anyway, such is life. So the king, he must have had enough of all this, because there's no way they'd just be able to rock up in their police cars onto the estate there. They're literally rocking up onto the royal grounds. There was no way they'd be able to just drive up and arrest him. They've obviously had some liaison with a royal liaison officer or correspondent, whatever you want to call it. And Charles has just gone, yeah, do you know what? Just take him. I've had enough of him and his pervy ways. All them times I've seen numerous podcasts where undercover security agents that have been working for the royals have said he used to have women coming in and out non-stop and there was nothing they could do about it. He'd sneak women in late at night, one after the other. That's how disgusting this man is. Anyway, I digress. I'm here to give you the facts. Oh, look at the photo of him trying to hide away. You shouldn't be such a perv if you want to hide away. Thames Valley Police have released Andrew Mountbatten Windsor. He is under investigation after being arrested for misconduct in a public office. Let's have a look at some clips then.
Police in their investigation into Andrew Mountbatten Windsor, his brother, over those links with Jeffrey Epstein. The King, of course, has been under a lot of pressure, Josh. What's going to happen here?
Well, there's been pressure from a lot of things. Actually, I want to treat this a little bit as confession time, because you probably may have seen video clips of the King being heckled in walkabouts, and usually this is a good kind of way to measure public appearance about the public opinion about certain royal scandals, whatever. But what I would say to when we look at footage like that, I want to take it with a little bit of a pinch of salt, a little bit of skepticism. Because I also know that there are fringe Republican organizations that are effectively planting hecklers in those specific walkabout places in order to purposely distort the narrative and create trouble and kind of attempt to stir up Republicanism sentiment. And we see this actually because a lot of the crowds who do show up to see the King on these walkabouts are actually big monarchists, big royalists that are actually delighted to see the King and Queen, and actually are the same ones saying shut up or boo or get out the way, go home, because they want to see the King in a nice environment. So I will say treat some of the walkabout footage with a little bit of skepticism. However, there has been pressure for the royal family to do more when it comes to Andrew Mountbatten Windsor. And this week, I've been asking a few commentators on Twitter, what more can the royals do? There is no HRH title, no patronages, no royal duties, no public role. He was practically evicted from his huge mansion. He's now only living a very quiet life away from the public eye that's going to be privately funded by his brother. But now the King is also saying, bearing in mind there has been an extremely pointed shift this week when it comes to the statements. And the King said in the statement, or effectively the palace have said, the King has made clear in words and through unprecedented actions, again emphasizing the unprecedented actions, taking the very title of prince away from Andrew, the title that was effectively his birthright, away from him, and saying his profound concern at allegations that which continue to come to light in respect of Andrew Mountbatten Windsor. And effectively saying, yes, they'll cooperate with the police, Thames Valley Police, again, investigating Andrew due to a complaint made by a Republican organization, a specific Republican organization trying to stir up trouble for the royal family there. But this is an unprecedented shift, even though he didn't necessarily ever mention the word Epstein explicitly by name in the statement. We know the attitude of the palace now is very explicit towards Andrew Mountbatten Windsor, and that is, you are now on your own. You are no longer protected by the royal family. You are no longer protected by Buckingham Palace. You have no role in the firm. You have no role in the institution. If it comes to extradition, we are not going to stand in the way. And that is effectively the message that the palace is wanting to evoke now, because as much as it is, the public is disgusted by Andrew Mountbatten Windsor, they are. The palace, I would say, yes, there has been a certain lack of transparency throughout the process, and questions are being asked, who knew what, when, even questioning the late Queen. Unfortunately, well, we know she has a bit of a blind spot when it came to her favourite son. But the palace now is basically through, as they're trying to emphasise, through these statements, through these quote unquote unprecedented actions, that there is a zero tolerance approach when it comes to Andrew Mountbatten Windsor now.
The prince has been held around 8 a.m. on Thursday on his 66th birthday. In a statement, the police force said on Thursday, we arrested a man in his 60s from Norfolk on a suspicion of misconduct in public office. They shouldn't just say, we've arrested a man. They should say, we've arrested the pervy prince, Randy Andy. We've arrested him. We've got him. We're going to try our best to put this pervert away. But they can't say that, can they? This is the alternative news, by the way. Almost breaking. We can also confirm that our searches in Norfolk have now concluded, so they've raided his computers. Hopefully, there'll be something on there that they can prosecute him with. Andrew was pictured sitting in the back of a black Range Rover as he left the station, appearing to keep a low profile. Yeah, I bet he did. It's understood Buckingham Palace was not informed of the arrest in advance. Oh, well, that surprises me. They've just rocked up to the Buckingham Palace, like in a SWAT van, and just jumped out and gone, Andrew, get in the van. Can't just roll up there like Starsky and Hutch, can they? Obviously, that's what they're saying that they have. Police have previously confirmed that they were reviewing claims Andrew allegedly shared sensitive information with his convicted S-offender associate, Jeff. Police have confirmed that they were reviewing claims Andrew had allegedly shared sensitive information with his convicted offender associate while serving as a UK trade envoy. Officers said they were separately probing allegations a woman was trafficked to the UK by to have a with Andrew. Andrew was consistently and vehemently denied wrongdoing. That should say Andrew has lied through his teeth. Allegedly. The King, 77, released a written statement at midday saying, I have learned with deepest concern the news about Andrew Mountbatten Windsor and the suspicion of misconduct in public office. What now follows is a full, fair and proper process by which the issue is investigated in the appropriate manner by the appropriate authorities. Basically, that's the King saying, I've just learned about my of a brother, my of a brother getting arrested, and now the shit's hit the fan. I'm distancing myself from him because he's a complete tool. I can't do much about it because the police are involved and it's too high profile and the public are involved and he basically can't get away with it anymore. So I'm just going to throw him to the wolves now. That's what that says in pure English. Or in plain English, rather. In this, I have said before that I full and wholeheartedly support and cooperation. Let me state clearly, the law must take its course. Yeah. Let's see if he gets done then, shall we? As this process continues, it would not be right for me to comment further on this matter. What he means there is, let's wait to see if the police can prosecute him before I drop myself in it. Meanwhile, my family and I will continue in our duty and service to you all, Charles. It is believed that Prince William and Catherine support the King's position. I can confirm the Prince and Princess are deeply concerned by the continuing revelations. Yeah, I bet they are. They're probably the only normal ones out of the whole lot of them. We all remember Paris and a certain car crash. Blamed it on the wrong person. Their thoughts remain focused on the victims. I might do a video on that and all the people that ended up passing away after that car crash involving a certain princess. A lot of people seem to disappear. suspiciously. The family of Virginia Gouffre say broken hearts are lifted following the arrest. Speaking to CBS, at last today, our broken hearts have been lifted at the news. No one is above the law, not even royalty. Well, I mean, he's only got himself to blame, really, hasn't he?
Police in the UK have just arrested Andrew Mountbatten Windsor, the younger brother of King Charles III, and of course, former prince. British media are reporting that Andrew, who was not named by police, was reportedly arrested on charges of misconduct in public office.
Absolutely, and it is the former Prince Andrew's 66th birthday as well, we should say. So, as you said, Brent, so Andrew Mountbatten Windsor has been arrested on the suspicion of misconduct in public office. So what does this mean? What's being reported is that police arrived at his house at Wood Farm on the Sandringham estate. You might remember that he was moved quite swiftly from his from the place where he's lived for the last decades. He's been moved to a cottage on the King's estate. Police said earlier this month that they were looking at allegations that Mountbatten Windsor had passed confidential government documents to the late sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. What was happening in the last hours? It's being reported that 6 unmarked police cars, about 8 plain-clothed police officers were seen arriving at Wood Farm, where Andrew Mountbatten Windsor has just moved to. Now, some of our viewers may not know that the former Prince Andrew served as essentially a trade envoy. So he was the UK's special representative for international trade and investment for 10 years. Now, that basically means he worked as a roving trade ambassador.
He would have had access then
and
to
he had
sensitive
access to a lot of sensitive information.
The King was heckled today as he attended London Fashion Week. Can you imagine getting shit for your brother because your brother's a perv? Let's have a look at that.
That King Charles would have been horrified, absolutely horrified, because he wouldn't have known. Apparently, he wouldn't have known. This was.
He wouldn't have known. You can't tell me the prince. You can't tell me that the prince or the king to be, the heir to the throne, would not find out that his brother was shipping in girls in and out of the palace, like that bodyguard allegedly has told numerous podcasts that Prince Andrew was shipping in girls left, right and centre, one after the other. And you can't tell me King Charles now, he was prince then I suppose, couldn't ring someone at MI6 and say, listen, can you keep tabs on my brother because he's been a pain in the ass, he's been a pervert, and we don't really want this to get out to the public? Or he could probably just open the door to the palace, his palace bedroom, shout to his mum, go, Mummy. If she doesn't answer, then just shout down the hall to him on the other end of the palace, Andrew, stop bringing these women in here. They look very, very young, you perv. What a disgusting human being. No, he wouldn't say it like that. He'd say, Andrew, stop bringing these young fillies in here, you disgusting pervert.
An arrest where Andrew wouldn't have known either. The police come in, as sure as people have seen on television many, many times. They have a search warrant and they just rip the place to pieces and they take whatever they want. Well, what King Charles has done, he's very, very definitely
take his hard drive.
Drawn a very strong line between the monarchy and Andrew. And that happened when Andrew was stripped of his titles and became Mr. Mountbatten Windsor. And I think, the king's advisors would have, been suspected that, this could only go one way, and that was down.
There's the king's statement there if you want to read that. If you want to pause the video and read that, it's basically what I just said. These people here that are all lined up, they're all obviously royalists. They don't represent the majority of the public. I don't think people are in support of the royal family anymore like they used to be. But if someone's family had a PDF file, let's say, or an abuser or ex-abuser or whatever, and they were living on your street, everybody would do what they could to make sure they asked the right questions, like where's your brother living? Is he around children? That sort of thing. So this gentleman here, who's piped up, he's only asking the questions, how long has the king known about his brother? You can't tell me Charles has only just realised. And that's what pisses people off.
A man heckled King Charles of Britain in the English village of Dedham during the royal family's visit there on Thursday. The man shouted, "Have you pressurized the police to start investigating Andrew?" as the king was walking past the crowd. He was then pulled aside by police personnel.
I have made my point.
Okay, thank you.
And I'm leaving.
Okay, that's
and
fine.
if you don't think you need justice, then I'm
That's
sorry.
not my
But it
colleague.
is.
We're going to walk down with
Because
you.
this is the only way to make it clear to people that Andrew should not be let off.
Let's walk with you to location.
The man said he was just telling the king to investigate the scandal involving a man heckled King Charles of Britain in the English
guy's
village
only
of
asking
Dedham during
questions.
the royal family's visit there on Thursday. The man shouted, "Have you pressurized the police to start investigating Andrew?" as the king was walking past the crowd. He was then pulled aside by police personnel.
I have made my point.
Okay, thank
and
you.
I'm leaving.
Okay, that's
and
fine.
if you don't think these people need justice, then I'm
That's
sorry.
not what we're here for today, is it? My
But it
colleague,
is.
we're going to
Two-tier policing
This
again.
is the only way to make it clear to people that Andrew should not be let off.
We'll take a listen.
How long have you known about Andrew and Epstein? Have you asked the police to cover up for Andrew?
The monarch ignored those taunts, but certainly can't ignore the ongoing controversy. The ambush coincides with new reports that Prince Andrew may finally be willing to leave Royal Lodge, but only on his terms. As widely splashed across British tabloids today, the new deal would see Prince Andrew leave that 30-room mansion in Windsor in exchange for 2 smaller cottages.
Why does he need 30 rooms to live in? His kids are grown up. We shouldn't even be paying for him, taxpayers. I wanted you to see that in being heckled. It's a little bit unfair on Charles. It's not his fault, but I think he knew. Can't tell me he didn't know. So that's the news for your views. Thank you all. If you want me to make more of these little news segments, let me know down below in the comments. Thank you for sticking with me. I filmed it once. I hope the second lot is as good as the first one that I filmed. I can't remember. Remember, these news bulletins, they are stressful and emotional, so most of all, don't have nightmares. I'm also thinking of doing a podcast as well, so that'll be something to look forward to. Thanks, guys. Oh, just before I go, I wanted to thank everybody that's rejoined the memberships as well after Christmas. I have noticed that you've rejoined. Thank you very much, guys. Thames Valley Police have arrested. Thames Valley Police have arrested Andrew Mountbatten Winston. Thames Valley Police have released new. Fuck. Thames Valley Police have arrested. Thames Valley Police have arrested Andrew Mountbatten Winston. Just for fun. Thames Valley Police have released new. Fuck. Thames Valley Police have. I'm going to show you this. I'm good to you guys. Wrong window. Royal family's got enough money. Anyway, this is the news, not my personal opinion. Thanks very much.